Hi, Megan here, Bush Gourmand, Thermo Megan Jane. I have a couple of monikers. Today I'm making some brioche buns. We're having hamburgers for tea tonight, and I think brioche is the best to have with hamburgers. Beautifully soft and buttery and yummy. Now, brioche is a different type of dough. It's an enriched dough because it has butter and egg in it. So it is different from your regular bread dough, and it produces quite a soft dough. The softer the dough, the softer the actual bread is going to be in the end. It'll also be yellow in colour depending on your butter and your eggs. I have chooks, and my eggs get a lot of my chooks get a lot of green feed, so my eggs are quite the yolk's very yellow, so my dough is quite yellow as well. Now it needs for 10 minutes. I've done that bit. It does say, because I use the cookie dough, it says to transfer the dough into an oiled bowl. I prefer to use the Thermomat, and ideally brioche is better if it's proved overnight in the fridge. It gets a better flavour and a better texture. I'm not going to do that. I am going to prove it actually quite quickly by wrapping it in my Thermomat, putting it in my thermo server bowl and popping it on top. I'm actually going to use my TM31. I've already warmed the water in the 31. Got about a litre of water in there, and I put it on for 40 or so minutes, just on 50 degrees. So it's just gently proving, and then after that we go into the shaping. So I'll show you the dough. There we go. It is quite soft, and sometimes brioche is used as a pastry base. Let's get it out. Just use your nice strong scraper to scrape around the sides, and I'll just tip my screen down a wee bit, wiggle that knob at the base to get that dough out. It's coming out very slowly because it is quite sticky and soft. Okay, come on. Here it comes. Goodness me, it is sticky. It's coming out. You might find that, some is going to be sticking to the blades, but we know how to get it off the blades, don't we? It's easy. There is a little bit on the blades. We can pop it on here. Now, because we're in cookie dough, we need to go out and go home. And I'm just going to go to here and go to 10. As quick as that, not even a second. Okay, and most of it is off the blades. So do another scrape around. You shouldn't have to put your fingers in the bowl. If you do, make sure that you turn the blades clockwise so that you're not touching the sharp part of the blades. There we go. And there is our beautiful dough. I've popped some sprayed some oil on my Thermomat, and I'm just going to coat. This dough is absolutely beautiful. It is soft and silky, and even though it's very soft, it's not sticking, and that's the amount of butter in there. It's keeping it from sticking. So I'm just going to coat it in that oil, wrap it up in my Thermomat, and pop it into my Varoma base. Just like that, fits beautifully. lid on top, over to my 31, handy little duty, love him. It's quite warm at the moment, so I'm going to set it to 50, and so different being manual. I still love it though. And speed 1, and of course, if you want to, and I've quite often done that, is if you have another bowl, fill that with water, pop it in here and use fermentation mode. You just choose your temperature and away it goes. Choose an hour, I suppose, if you've got warm water in there, choose your temperature. Once it reaches the temperature, then the 40 to 50 minutes that it needs to prove. All right, we will close off now, and I'll come back after it's proved and I'll show you how I do the shaping. Hello, we're back again. Okay, now my beautiful dough has proven quite quickly in my Varoma. Look at that. Wow, it's pretty amazing. Okay, so I'll just move the screen down a little bit and show you how I do my little rolls. Now the recipe says to make 10 rolls, 80 grams each. Normally I'd weigh the dough and work it out. I actually want 8 rolls, so that's going to be 100 each. Oh look, it's popped out. Okay, so it's beautiful. Look at that. Oh my goodness, what gorgeous dough. Now I just need my my spatula to do the cutting, because you never use anything sharp on the Thermomat, as you know. What I'm going to do is turn this little doobie on and put a little bowl in there, which I haven't got yet. Normally have that ready. And I'm going to weigh each piece of dough. So I have got 8 at 100 grams. So we just cut the pieces off. And we're connected. Move that out of the way. Go across to the scales. Tear. And 116. So, okay, we just keep going until we've got 100 grams, around about. I mean, that's fine, 106. Now what I do is I smooth and fold, smooth and fold. In the end, you've got a lovely, lovely smooth top, and you've gathered all underneath. Pop on the tray, away from the edge. We're going to use this area here because they're going to spread out as they prove. We don't want them to rise too high, but we do want them to spread a little. So tear again. All right, let's see, that'll do. And stretch and fold, stretch and fold until you have that lovely smooth top. Oh, it's a little bubble there, which we'll get rid of. Okay. Pop him on the tray. Continue like that until you have 8 or however many you want to make, and then we pop them into a bag. I actually put my whole tray into one of these bags. All right, and I puff it up so that the bag isn't going to touch the rolls, because if it does, and you pull the plastic off, they'll drop. You could try proving them again, but then they may be over-proved and you'll have all bubbles in your dough. So I'll finish off doing that. I'll pop in the bag. I'll put the bag back on the TM31 with the warm water, and it should probably only take about 20 minutes, I think, to rise. And then halfway through, turn my oven on to 200, and we'll get some egg yolk and some water whipped up together to glaze the rolls to get that gorgeous golden brown topping. Okay, I'll see you again shortly. Hi, back again. It's been about an hour that my beautiful brioche buns have been rising, and don't they look fabulous? And I'm just going to glaze them with an egg yolk and a little bit of water. I use a paintbrush because I just find that easier. And this will give them that gorgeous, gorgeous glaze as they rise. Again, a little bit in the oven, and I'll show you my trick to get that to happen. I might as well explain it now. What bread loves in the oven is steam. And if you don't have a steam oven, the way to do that, and there is a method on the Cookie Dough recipe that says to pop a container of water, an oven-proof container, in the bottom of the oven to allow some steam. But what I do, I find is a little more effective, is a little spray bottle of water, and I spray the oven as I put the rolls in, or the bread, or whatever form of dough that I'm making, and that steam allows the rolls to have another little rise in the oven. So now they're beautifully glazed. They're going into the oven. It's on 200, and it shouldn't take very long, probably 15 minutes or so. And I'll show you what they look like when they come out. And I've got my little spray bottle that I'll be spraying the oven with to get some nice steam. Look at these out of the oven. And they're a little bit smaller than I expected because I normally make 6. I forgot. So these are going to be a little bit smaller than our hamburger patties, because I made really large hamburger patties. But anyway, now to know when they took about 15 minutes to know when they're ready to come out of the oven, and this is with any bread, the internal temperature needs to be 90. Now they say, tap it, it should sound hollow. I find that's a little bit nebulous. So I use a meat thermometer, poke it in the middle, sort of between 2 rolls, so because this is quite thick, you don't want a great big hole in your beautiful hamburger bun. And once it reads around 90, they're good to go. They're good to come out of the oven. My hamburgers are quite large. What I did, I had some rump steak and I chopped it into cubes and froze it for about an hour or so, just sort of so it's semi-frozen. Minced it in the Thermomix using the Cookie Dough recipe for mincing meat. And I didn't have a hamburger press, so I thought that's a good size for a hamburger. So I kind of got, a ball of mince, popped it in there, pressed it down with that, worked brilliantly. So we're going to have hamburgers, or steak burgers actually. I'm going to try and make them taste like Hungry Jack's. Hopefully they do. All right, thank you for watching. Now, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. Comment below. I'm on Facebook quite often, so I will respond to your comments or your questions. And I hope you enjoyed learning about making brioche rolls, or buns, whatever you like to call them. All right, thank you very much, and I will see you another time. Bye.